Welcome to the weekly Firecast, covering the world of hot sauce, spicy food, and barbecue. So sit back, relax, and savor the burn.
Hey everybody, this is another Missouri Boys Review. I am Scott Roberts.
And I'm Ryan Grom. And today we're here to try not a hot sauce, not a barbecue sauce, but a beer. A beer from Stone Brewery from our friend
Jim Duffy of Refining Fire Chilies.
The last few months ago, he was, I guess Esquire has a new show called Brew Dogs, and they contacted him. And in doing so, he picked up very good brewery as a customer, Stone Brewery. They are one of the best breweries, craft breweries in America, at least in my opinion. A lot of people love them too. So
yeah, they're based out of San Diego, California, and they were on the show, what he mentioned, the Brew Dog show. And this beer right here utilizes some of the chili peppers that Jim Duffy had provided for them. And just reading them off real quick off the bottle. Mid-level heat, red and green jalapenos. We know jalapenos are only at mid-level heat. Anyway, ultra hot black nagas, Caribbean red hots, Moruga Scorpion, some fatales. So it's a combination of some low, medium, very hot peppers.
And with these super hots, to get a little description, because besides being a big chili head, I'm a major beer geek as well. This alone, without the peppers, would leave a lot of people like, what just happened to my mouth? Mm-hmm. Okay? But then they decided, oh, we're going to put all these super hot peppers and what's called American Strong Ale, which is very hoppy, very malty, just to, kick you in your mouth kind of. It's not your typical lager that most people are used to. Something light, something crisp, something refreshing. Mm-hmm. This is very full-bodied, very hoppy, bitter, very malty, a little bit sweetness to it. Just depends on who's making it and how they want to do it. But I've had this beer without the peppers before, and it's a very strong beer, but it's good. You just have to have the taste, and it's not something you can just go slam it down and say next. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, just my perspective coming from this, I am a longtime chili head. I've had untold numbers of hot sauces and seasonings and stuff that I've tried. I'm not a big beer fanatic. I might drink once a month. So I'm coming at this from a beer novice, but as a chili head, to see if the chili pepper taste is really implemented well with the flavor of the beer. Now, as Ryan said, he is the beer fanatic, so that's where he's coming from.
And this is my thing. I kind of like have my reservations, because me being the chili head and the beer geek, I want to have something, that's the best of both worlds. But I've yet to find a chili beer that satisfies both. Either you got great chili flavor and the beer flavor is just or it's just the opposite. So I'm hoping this is going to be the beer, the chili beer that everyone can be like, I need my fix of heat and of hops, and this will be it. So
okay. So we've already opened the bottle of Crime, and we poured out a little bit here about 5-10 minutes ago. So I'm just going to go ahead and give a sniff.
Oh, very strong up front pepper. Chili.
Yeah, it's a very strong, almost, I don't want to say a dried chili pepper. I mean, to me, whenever I dehydrate peppers, there are just a certain something aspect of the flavor, of the smell that I get.
Kind of takes on a bread, kind of a bready flavor.
Bready.
And I think the malts in this kind of, makes that, a little bit more stronger as far as the malty, bready smell.
Yeah,
but
you definitely sweet.
You definitely get the chili.
Cat. You want some of this? It's all improvised, folks.
It's you can look in the beer and you can tell that has a little sediment in there. It's a dark amber color. Got these little bubbles right here. It's called lacing for all those people that don't drink beer or care. You know, if it's this stuff right here, it's got very small lacing. They recommend to put this in a tulip or a snout or something because this is would be considered maybe a sipping beer. And I just can't get over the cat being over there. But anyways, maybe he really likes it. He wants to some.
Here, want to sniff some of this? Okay, we won't go there.
It's cat approved, I guess.
I guess so. Usually cats will just go running the other way.
And if Scott sees a cat, he runs the other way.
I don't really hate thing about cats, but...
Yeah, but...
well, let's go ahead and give us a taste. Cheers. Hot, very bitter on the onset.
This is actually pretty decent. I mean, I'm amazed. And the last time I had a super hot chili beer, it did not taste good, and it was too hot. I'm not going to name the beer, but it was made with scorpions, and it was made with ghost peppers. And they overdid it in the fermentation because a lot of the times they ferment a beer, and when they add stuff like chilies, they take it to a second fermentation tank, and then they'll add their chilies. This was done in oak barrels, which is really one of my favorite ways to, ferment beers because you get a little like earthy oak kind of nutty flavor. If you ever had beer, aged in a barrel, you'll know it right away because a lot of times you'll get a beer that, if it was in a port barrel or in a whiskey barrel, it'll take on some of the notes from like a kind of a bourbon flavor or wine flavor. This comes down really smooth. You get a lot of sweetness. You get a sweetness and flavor of the peppers up front with a little kind of a caramel flavor, bready flavor, and like midway through. I didn't think, I was kind of worried with, what I was told. There was a lot of Morugas in here, but they have found a way to kind of balance the beer with the heat of it. I don't think it's super hot. It's enough to enjoy it. This is, I was really reluctant because, like I said, I've never found a chili beer I like.
Yeah, and neither have I. For all the ones I tried, my first one was, the Cave Creek chili beer. Not a fan of that at all. This is very smooth, very mellow. You get a combination of the chili peppers. It's not one that's really distinct when it hits your tongue and hits all the parts of the inside of your mouth. A little bit of the bitterness from the Morugas, but it just all combined rather well. And the heat that I get is in the mouth. And it's like by the time it gets to my throat, the heat's gone. Boom. Immediate blast of a little heat. I would say it's mid-level, but it's gone after that. It's not like it's a hot sauce, a super hot sauce, or eating raw chili peppers where you can just kind of feel it slide down the back of your mouth and throat and it burns. There is no burn here with me. So it's that immediate spicy sensation, and it's a rather enjoyable beer.
I pretty much agree. The heat dissipates very quickly unless, like I just took, instead of a sip, I took a rather large gulp, and it did kind of come back to just the back of my throat, but it's gone. It says, hey, I'm here, but I'll see you the next time around, and it keeps you wanting to come sipping this. You do take your time with this beer, because not just the heat, but it is a high alcoholic beer. It is almost 10%. I think it says 9.6%. And 9.6% will hit you fast if you drink it too fast. So,
Yeah, this is not a beer you can chug.
And at the price that these go for, it's not one. It's one of those you want to take your time enjoying, because you will not buy a lot of these. These are a limited edition. So in most breweries, when they do limited editions, they're very costly. Some I've seen as cheap as, you know, I say cheap, but most people wouldn't pay $8 for a bottle this big. But I've seen them go from 8 to, you know, a few hundred. Mm-hmm. And kind of like some of Blair's old collectibles, there's that, you know, you can still get at crazy prices for. But I think I saw a picture of it, and it was $17 for this bottle. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna want to enjoy it, and you know, don't just go, that was, slam it down and that's great. I mean, you're not going to be able to anyways.
Yeah.
But it's well worth it, like, to try this, because I think with it being said that there's not many good chili beers, this is probably the best I've ever had. I could buy this again if, you know, I won the Powerball or something.
Well,
because this is not enough beer. but I would drink this again. I honestly can say this because I've never had a beer, chili beer, that I would even maybe touch.
Well, I'm in the same boat. I've never had one that I would classify as good. They've been, as a real stretch, I would say there have been a couple of fair chili beers. But mostly, and as Ryan kind of said a while ago, it's either a decent beer taste but a bad utilization, I will say that word, of chili peppers, or the other way around, where the beer would just taste like crap. You have to enjoy whatever you sip or whatever you eat. I do enjoy this quite a bit. Overall flavor, on a scale of 1 to 5, I would actually have to give us a 3 out of 5. All other chili beers, even the best ones, barely reach a 2 or maybe 2.5.
If I was going to do the 5, you know, star rating, I would give this probably a 4. Right? I think for what it is, it does a great balancing trick there. It brings out, and you know, the pepper flavors. They're not overbearing, but it's balanced well with the malts and the hops that is in the Lucky Bastard beer. That is essentially what this is. This is a 3-beer blend made into one beer, aged in a barrel with a bunch of super hots. And the pepper flavor is not overpowering the beer. The beer is not overpowering the peppers. It just bounces out right. And with me being a beer geek, I mean, I just have just as much beer as I do hot sauce in my refrigerator. And I've had some of the most harshest, some of the most lightest beers, and the beers I prefer are really bitter anyways. Mm-hmm. This is something like, it is perfect because right now in St. Louis, it's going back, it's winter time, it's getting cold, and we got a nice day today, but it's going to go back down, and this is going to be a great winter beer especially.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, it heats you up, and you'll get heated up by the peppers, be heated up by the alcohol content. I like this. I don't think I could drink this all the time, but this is one of those bottles that you hold aside for when you have company of, you know, fellow chili heads that do drink beer, and say, hey, let's crack this open. And I'd put it in a small, well, you could put it in anything, just, you know, that size. It's great. I like it. I would, like I said, taste-wise, I think it's a 4 out of 5. Overall, I think I'll give it a 4 out of 5.